Sekubingelela sikwamukela ohlelweni Asikhulume Let's Talk mbukeli igama lami ngengubongiwe uMakhumalo wakwazwane. Kuleli viki sesiyavala inyanga Yabesifazane ohlelweni sibuza ukuthi kungabe yini eyenza ukubhebhetheka kokubulawa kubesifazane nezingane kanti futhi lokhu singakugwema kanjani?
I think the reason why we have a huge rate of women killing and children being killing is because I think it's based on this conspiracy that children, angazi, there's this thing yokuthwala. People sometimes twala with children, and then women, it's been a case, it's been like going on ever since. I mean, people just abuse women, patriarchy.
Abanye ababhuda bafuna ukuchallenge, uyabona? Abanye abantu basebenzisa amandla wabo ezama out kuthina. The sentences are not severe. Point number 2, once the crime has been reported, the police act later. They are too slow to act. Thirdly, even if they go to court, the bail is too common. And then again, there must be no remission of sentence once they've been sentenced.
Bekuyizimvo zababukeli lezo mbukeli sikukhumbuze ke ukuthi ungaba ingxenye loluhlelo ngokushayela ucingo sizwe umbono noma umbuzo wakho. Inombolo zethu zocingo zithi 0117140677 noma 0117140678 kanti ungabuye futhi usithole emakhasini ethu okuxhumana ku Twitter @SABC Izindaba kanye na ku Facebook SABC Izindaba. Ukuze kubelula ke mbukeli sicela uqale ngo #Asikhulume #SABC News bese ke ubhala umbuzo noma umbono wakho. Ngokwezibalo phakathi kukaMbasa noNhlangulana kulonyaka bangu 895 abesifazane ababulewe kanti lezi zibalo ezinyantisayo zikhomba ukuthi bakhuphuke ngabangu 50 uma kuqhathaniswa nonyaka odlule. Ngaso lesisikhathi izingane ezingu 293 zibulewe kulonyaka kanti lesi sibalo sikhuphuke ngezingu 50 izingane ezibulewe uma kuqhathaniswa nesikhathi esifanayo ngonyaka odlule. Intatheli yohlelo iAsikhulume Let's Talk uNandi Ndlazi Mnyani ukhulume nemindeni yabesifazane ababulawa abalingani babo elokishini laseSoweto eDeepkloof esifundazweni saseGauteng.
Usethi kakhulu angithola ukuphumula mina. Angithola ukuphumula ngathi ngigcine ngidestroya wonke ama belongings kaNonhlanhla from empahleni. Because mengizibona ukuba like iphupho. Ngizombona uNonhlanhla ngena athi hayi angifanga ngiyaphila bengisendaweni eso.
Umndeni wakaMtolo eDeepkloof Soweto ungomunye weminingi enabesifazane ababulawa ngesihluku abalingani babo.
uNonhlanhla nge-4 April 2014 wahamba ekuseni bokuyi-Saturday bokuyi-birthday yakhe. So wahamba ne-boyfriend yakhe uSibusiso bathi bayidropeni bayothengela abantwana bakaNonhlanhla impahla. So umuntu beka-happy bangabonisi nje anything wrong between bona boyi-two. So since ambili uNonhlanhla wangishiya nomntana wakhe bekana 1 year old wentombazana. So kwaba kunyamalala kwakhe since then.
Uthi ke wabe uyile waza ke mathi mama ngizohamba ngedrobheni kodwa zosheshe ngibuye. Ngathi mina usheshe ubuye. Ngithi noma ngishayisa ngikuthola usekhaya. Hayi wavuma hayi mama zosheshe ngibuye ngoba sizosijabulisa nebodadewethu mengibuya.
Umzimba kaNonhlanhla utholakale eKhimbila Park entabeni. Amaphoyisa waseKhimbila Park amthole after 6 months. Yeah, 6 to 8 months from 2014. Yeah, uthola amaphoyisa khona. So angazi ukuthi amaphoyisa mina asebenzisana kanjani because senza amaphoyisa la eDeepkloof wash ukuthi bazoyenza ama-posters, bazomposter and nakuma police station wonke. So le iye yangidida lapho ukuthi makathola amaphoyisa aseKhimbila Park bese ka decomposed vele. So bashutha ithombe zakhe ne-video. So igovernment yagcina semngcwaba because bokuyi-unknown.
Njengoba kwenzeka ezigamekweni eziningi, lo mndeni uthi umlingani kaNonhlanhla wayewusiza ukufuna uNonhlanhla kungakaziwa ukuthi akasekho.
Athi ngimcela ukukhuluma nami in private. Ngibachiftise ke abantu bebagcwele la ngaphandle egate ngisondele kuye. Asho ukuthi Victoria ngiyaxolisa ngimbulela uNonhlanhla. Ngithi umbulela uNonhlanhla umbulale ngani kanjani? Wayibo umbulala, wayibo ngamiyeke ungasamfuni. athi hayi ukuthi uNonhlanhla bekalwa uNonhlanhla bekanamandla but bese ngikhathele impi yami noNonhlanhla.
Eduzane nalomndeni, unkosikazi uBhesi Maphanga usakhungathekile ngokubulawa kwendodakazi yakhe eyayineminyaka eyi-17 ubudala, eyabulawa ngumlingani wayo.
Umntanami ngangimthumile angasabuyi kuza ama-friends ukuthi boyfriend yakhe imthathile ihambe naye beyikwatile ngenzeka ukuthi imlimaze. So ekuseni abantu bathi babone umuntu unesidumbu esilapha emhlangeni, so the way bamdescribe ngakhona ngathi uyu umntanami.
uMaphanga uthi umlingani wendodakazi yakhe wavuma icala lokubulala indodakazi yakhe waboshwa isikhashana, kodwa bambona esebuyile emphakathini lokwabaphatha kabi.
Ukhona uyangena uyaphuma ejele, uyangena uyaphuma for into zakhe, hayi lokhu kwamazange.
Umndeni kaNonhlanhla ukhala ngokungatholi ubulungiswa ukuze nabo baphole bengumndeni.
Angithola ukuphumula ngabantwana abangazi umama ukuthi uphelele kuphi. Angibuthola ubuthongo, angilali.
Ngifile mina kahle mina ngisithatha njengomuntu ongasa exist anymore because into kaNonhlanhla iye yangihlukumeza kakhulu, ngaluza nomzimba like impilo yami ivele yami yaba stuck, especially ukungizisa obuhlungu kakhulu moyobona ama photos nama video. Umuntu akini ungasekho.
Mbukeli, yini engenziwa ukunqanda ukubulawa kwabesifazane nezingane? Nanti Ndlazi Mnyane, Asikhulume, Let's Talk, esifundazweni saseGauteng.
Mbukeli, inyanga ekufanele ngabe laba besifazane bayabungazwa kodwa sibuka imindeni esele nobukhulu ubuhlungu obuhamba nokungatholi ubulungiswa. Sibonge umbiko nobesulethelwe intatheli yohlelo uNandi Ndlazi Mnyane. Asamukele ihambeli zethu Mbukeli uVincentia Dlamini, Operations Director for Women and Men Against Child Abuse, Captain Kgomotso Maluleke obuya ku-Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Units kwi-SABC, kanye nodokotela Nkululeko Mhlongo noyi-clinical psychologist onathi la e-studio. Mbukeli, ake sikhulume ngalolu daba. Ngizoqala ngawe Njomane. Izibalo zithi sebecishe nje babe u-900 abesifazane ababulewe nezingane ezicishe zibe u-300. Umubuka izibalo ukuthi zishaqisa kangakanani. Sithini ngalezi namba manje izibukeli?
Ziyathusa kakhulu, ziyashaqisa kakhulu, and ngiqinisile manithi inyanga yangabe bayaprotect bayabungazwa. But I think for me into enkulu engiyibonayo, and also in the past in terms of experience, ukuthi relationships nowadays are seen as a matter of power and control. So abantu besilisa bathanda ukuba in a position where bayakhona control. So the loss of legal control results in a very abusive nature. So kulula ukuthi ngikukhombisa ukuthi ngikwatile kunokuthi ngikutshene ukuthi ngizobuhlungu.
And ngizobuya futhi ngifuna sikhulume ngale ndaba ye-control ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi ngathi khona la singaya khona sike siyibone kahle ukuthi masihlaziya ukuthi yini. Ngizokufaka captain kule ngxoxo yethu ngoba nazi inombolo ziyakhuphuka. The numbers are quite shocking, and the stats every year and every quarter when we hear them siyakhathazeka kakhulu, and I wonder from the SAPS's point of view yini eyenza ukuthi singaboni ukuphela kokubulawa kweingane nabantu besifazane. Captain Maluleke, are you able to hear us?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
I was asking ukuthi, when it comes to the numbers, we see stats being presented every quarter. And when the stats are presented, sometimes we see a decrease, but still the numbers are alarmingly high of women and children who are being killed. What makes it so difficult for this problem to be dealt with once and for all?
Thank you so much for having me. I think we are having some other intervention in place to address this issue of GBV and femicide. What we are doing, we are trying by all means to do the awareness campaigns to educate the community at large about this GBV and femicides. When we educate them, we also educate them about the forms of GBVF. Like for an example, when we educate them, we tell them that physical abuse, which is physical violence, it starts by a slap. And if you don't report it immediately, it escalates. The perpetrator graduates to do the other thing later stage. We also try to educate with the domestic violence that the domestic violence it is important that when it starts, it can be emotional abuse, it can be psychological abuse. You start immediately to apply for a protection order to avoid the further harms and killing. So that's what we are doing. Yeah, as SAPS.
And I'm interested in this part of education, Captain, and I want us to talk about it more after the break. But Vincentia, Captain ukhuluma ngokufundisa abantu, educating the public and ukhuluma kakhulu abantu besifazane about their rights namalungelo abo. But I wonder, looking at what is happening in South Africa currently, kuyasebenza lokhu, in your view, is educating members of the public enough? Or is it one of the steps that needs to be taken here?
Ngiyabonga nababukeli emakhaya. Kumqoka ukuthi sazi ukuthi ukuze le nkinga sibhekane nayo isimeka ukuthi wonke umuntu eze. Njengoba esho uCaptain ukuthi abantu kumele ukuthi bafundiswe, enye yama steps esingazithatha ekutheni abantu bafunde, kodwa akusona sodwa esingasiza ngoba siyazi ukuthi nabanye okokuqala nje uyazi Captain ukuthi nabo njengoba uCaptain kanje uyawathatha amaphoyisa bayobafundisa ngokuthi baphathe kanjani abantu, kodwa bathi uma befika lapha bazenzele okwabo. So ziningi izinto kumele ukuthi zibe khona in place so that sizokwazi ukuthi sidile nale sketch se domestic violence ne femicide. Kanti futhi masithi siyafundisa at different level. Sifundisa ezikoleni, sifundisa othisha, sifundisa bonodokotela abaseyibhedlela mabefika abafazi, umfazi ethi yena uwele bathroom kanti kuyabonakala ukuthi cha le injury yona ayifani ne bathroom. Sike sichaze nalaphayana nabo aba-frontline lapha kuma-CSC ema-police station ukuthi babahendlela kanjani uma sebuye sethi yena uzojika basafuna ukuthi icala libambe. Si-educate bonke abantu, si-educate nabo bona labafana besebancane nabo abantwana bamantombazane ngoba mongathi uyezwa kaningi abanye basho I think ushile u-clinical psychologist esho ukuthi echaza nje ama-dynamics around ama-relationships ukuthi sekunama-power struggle. So sifundiswe iy'ngane ziseyincane ukuthi so i-relationship e-healthy ini, communication, singaresort ku-violence ngoba siyazi ukuthi iy'ngane zi-expose kakhulu ku-violence kanti sithini nakuzo iy'ngane zamantombazane ezijwayele ukuthi zikhuzwa ngenduku zicabanga nokuthi kuma-relationship kumele ukuthi indoda uma ikhuluma mhlawumbe itshela ukuthi into ethize angiyithandi aqhubeka yenze mhlawumbe indlela akhuluma ngayo ngoba uzozwa ngenduku ngoba yindlela ajwayele ngayo. So kuningi wena bongiwe okumele ukuthi kwenziwe, angeke ngiqede futhi mangathi ngiyakhuluma ngazo.
And ngizofuna ukuthi masibuye sikhulume ngawo lama power dynamics ukuthi kwenzakalani ngoba sinawo yini ama examples, sikhona izibonelo sinazo thina seabazali balezi ingane ukuthi yini i healthy relationship and nakhona yini siyidlulisela einganeni zethu when it comes to healthy relationships. Njomani ngizofuna ukuthi sibuye ngalokho masibuye intona ke sishishelele mbukeli siyabuya. Mbukeli siyabonga ukuthi uhlale nathi kanti uma ngabe uqeda ukuhlanganyela kanye nathi sikhuluma ngeigameko zokubulawa kwabafazi kubesifazane in fact kanye neingane eningizimu Afrika. Siphetha inyanga yabantu besifazane, sibona lama campaign maningi, sibona kukhona nokubungaza abantu besifazane kule nyanga yabo, kodwa inani labo abasabulawa, inani leingane ezisabulawa alehli. Ake sikhulume ngalokho Njomane, ubusakhuluma ngama power dynamics, ubusakhuluma ngama struggles when it comes to i-control yomuntu wesilisa eyibona engathi uphezulu kumuntu wesifazane. Kodwa kukhona okunye okukhathazayo, you watch ama victims and kulawo ma power struggles and the power dynamics. Ake sixoxe kabanzi ngokuthi what goes through the mind of a woman who is being controlled and yini into eyenza ukuthi kube nzima ukuthi abasuke baye police station bayovula icala noma basuke kulobo budlelwane.
Umbuzo omuhle kakhulu and ngiyabonga kakhulu bayakhuluma mama, yabona there's much passion mabekhuluma ngakho. But I think lo mbuzo ubuzayo ungithelele ukuthi ngikhulume ngento esibiza i-trauma bonding. So umuntu wesifazane ugcine in a position environment la yazi ukuthi ubaba usebenza inkontrakini njalo ngefortnight uyahola sengiyazi ngolesihlanu vele usezongishaya. So there's a pattern that I then gain to understand and actually, so kuba nzima ukuthi ngihambe mina njengoba ekhulumile uCaptain, there's a lot of socio-economic factors that are actually factored into that ukuthi okay ubaba uyi-provider, ubaba uyin-in, so therefore ngeke ngikwazi ukuyovula icala. Ngisho noma sengilivulile icala, I'm sure uCaptain ngangifakazela baningi abantu besifazana bayalapha bethi bayalisula futhi. So I think again we need to look at in terms of how we raise abantu besilisa nabantu besifazane futhi. This petrification of isitulo sika baba, ungahlala isitulo sika baba, ubaba udla inyama engaka, ukukhulisa umntwana womfana lo mntwana. So all of that actually then instills kumfana wingane yomfana mangikhula vele I'm in control, I'm in power nginkosi. So kuba nzima umuntu wesifazane ukuthi simbone lapha. And then in relationships already the shift in terms of powers asalingani. Asiyiboni isilingana because ngumuntu wesilisa I provide, therefore ngiyakhona ukwenza ezinye izinto. Because in your first and second industrial revolution yithi besebenza, yithi besikwazi ukuhamba siye emayini in bona bebegcina besenza emakhishini. So the domestication of relationships are seen in that ukuthi umuntu wesifazane uletha ukuclean, uletha ukuwash, uletha ukunakekela abantwana, which again for me is very toxic. So toxicity yegcinilela ukuthi umuntu wesilisa ashaya umuntu wesifazane not only ngesandla but also psychologically in the sense that awukhona ukuya ekhaya maye ekhaya ubani ekhaya ngoba kho umuntu sebahambile bonke abazali imina kuphela ozokhona ukukhipha kulesimo sakho.
And now some of the conversations that would be had, and I'm going to canvas this with you, Vincentia, ukuthi uma ingane yentombazane ishada kuthiwa aseke isikhala sakho la ekhaya sekuphelele hamba uyokwakha umuzi. Some of those conversations that we have, we also need to think about. Captain, you know, sometimes the fingers point towards the SAPS, but in some of the instances, it's beyond your control as the SAPS, because a woman may want to withdraw the case. The NPA sometimes may decide not to prosecute. There are so many factors here that come into play that are also contributing towards the problem. Let's talk about how do you begin as the police to have these particular conversations?
Yeah, indeed, it is a challenge in terms of withdrawal of the cases. So if you can check now, there is this Amendment Act in terms of the Criminal and Related Matter, Act 12 of 2021. It talks to that if a woman now opened a case and the perpetrator is arrested, so you won't get a station bail at the police station. You will only get a bail only at court when you are going to appear. Because by amending that act, they've seen a loophole that a woman will open a case maybe on a Friday, for an example. During the weekend, then they withdraw the case. That's where it causes further harms and killing that are happening. So indeed, it is a challenge. We also need to educate them, as I was saying, on the awareness campaigns that they don't need they don't have to withdraw the cases in terms of that.
Before I move to Vincentia quickly though, Captain, what happens in some of the cases, because we see a woman has a protection order against an abuser and she's killed, even with that protection order, simply not being protected for asking for protection from the very law?
What is happening is we encourage the community that after you have received your protection order, make sure that maybe you make copies, you give your relatives so that they can assist you when something happens. Because obviously, maybe if you have only one copy and you are being killed, no one knows about the protection order. Your family must know about it or have a copy so that it can be easier for the perpetrator to be convicted or to be arrested in that manner.
Vincentia, I wonder though if that is enough, the printing of ama copies with protection order, ukuthi wonke umuntu akwazi ukuthi akuvikele ngoba kwesinye isikhathi umphakathi obheke eceleni uma ngabe umuntu wesifazane uyahlukunyezwa.
Iqiniso nje siyazi nayo uCaptain uzosifakazela ukuthi that's what protection order, it is just a piece of paper. And ngathi behluleka sebeboshiwe sebehambile bayabuya futhi basazoqhubeka futhi bembulale umuntu wesifazane. So angivumelani nokuthi it's enough. So mina ngesingami bekungaba mnandi ukuthi uma umuntu wesifazane esethi ngishayile livunywe icala ufakwe ama-measures in place ukuthi ngale khathi ngoba phela lo myeni wami noma isoka lami noma mhlambe isithando sami engasasifuni sengisilahlile kodwa sine-access kimi because siyazi ukuthi ngubani ngihlala kuphi sizongithola kuphi ngisebenza kuphi ngifunda kuphi so kumele ukuthi kube nema-systems in place lapho ama-victims azoprotecteka khona during that time so siyazi ukuthi lokho akukho esikhathini samanje njengoba omunye eshilo ukuthi noma ngabe esembuleleke-ke uyahambe ebosho bambone khona la emphakathini.
Vincentia, it's very disturbing, you know, even when you think back to some of the families, imindeni ekhala ngokuthi mina ngimbona engene ejele engene lokunye kodwa hayi ukuthi ubulele ingane yami, and lokho kuba isilonda emndenini. And mase sibuya mbukeli sizokhuluma ngokuthi sigwema kanjani lenkinga, yini futhi engenziwa eNingizimu Afrika ukuthi sike sisebenze kahle lenkinga siyibone for what it is and deal with it to make sure ukuthi akekho omunye umuntu wesifazane ohlukumezekayo noma obulawayo. Mbukeli sesiphetha ake sibheke izisombululo ukuthi lenkinga sinqoba kanjani. Njomani ngizoqala ngawe, yini into oyibonayo ukuthi nje yini engaba yisombululo ekutheni siqale ngayo ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi lenkinga sigweme kafushane nje?
I think kumele iqale ekhaya. Umama nobaba kumele bekhombise uthando. Umama nobaba shouldn't have or allow any toxicity within the home environment because egcineni sigcine siblame iy'kole, siblame nabantu amaphoyisa kumele bazivikele. So I think ekhaya la kumele iqale khona. Ngazi ukuthi mina ngumuntu wesilisa odade bethu ba under my protection anokuthi angeke ngikhona ukwenza or ngumbone elimala kanjalo. So asiqaleni ekhaya sibe nezinto zethina sithi these are our values, these are our ethics kholela khona. Nasemphakathini masikubona sikwazi ukuthi sisheshe sikhole out.
And Captain, for you, I wonder then what becomes, you know, the solution from the vantage point of the SAPS, particularly when it comes to how, you know, societies are socialized, but at the same time, members of the SAPS themselves who still don't know how to deal with women who are coming to police stations to report such crimes.
Yeah, with dealing with our victims, in each and every police station, we have a poster that talks to a police officer step by step in terms of treating victims of gender-based violence, where you need to treat, it's written there with points form, that you need to treat the victim with dignity and respect. And also, when you take a statement from the victim of GBVF, you take that person to a private place where the person will feel free to can disclose anything that happens to the person. So we also encourage neighbors to report. If you hear a fight, you can also report anonymously, so just give Eastern number, then if you had any gunshot or anything, whatever that you had, full details of the scene, so that you can be able to go and attend to it. Thank you.
And Vincentia, yini wena uyibona ukuthi kungaba yisombululo esingathi siqale nje sibhekelele manje?
Uke wathi ukukhuluma ngendlela yokuthi abantu batshelwa ini uma beyongena kuma-relationship. Ngicela sike sikhulume nge-culture. Sithi i-culture is dynamic. Sine-power to influence culture. So kube mhlambe bathi beyala umuntu wesifazane mayengena emshadweni uze bethi kumele ukuthi ubekezele. Uyayibona into efana naleso. Kumele sikwazi-ke ukuthi uma sikhuluma ney'ngane zethu sitshela ukuthi asikho isidingo sokubekezela, uyohlala uyingane yami. Ingane yami njengoba bahlala besho ukuthi njengoba uphuma la awusabuyi, kumele kwazi ukuthi this is your safe space. Create ama-safe spaces for iy'ngane zethu. Bathi noma mhlambe bese behamba labafana abancane sebengena nabo estagini sokuthi babe abantu babe amadoda-ke manje afundiswe ukuthi umuntu wesifazane uphathwa kanjani. Sithi sikhuluma siyi-community sonke sazi ukuthi siziphatha kanjani. Ama-discussions okumele akhulume emindenini, si-create ama-safe spaces. Njengoba eshilo uNjomani ukuthi sizobe siblame wonke umuntu, kodwa emakhaya senze next. Sifake i-discipline la ekhaya, siyiqhenye ngokuthi thina sifuna imindeni yethu ibe njani. ithi ingane mayiphuma la ekhaya iyobona abomakhelwane nabomakhelwane sibuyele back indlela esasiphila ngayo kwazi ukuthi umama wakamakhelwane naye umzali wami ngikwazi ukuthi ngiyakwazi ukuphosela kuye njengoba uCaptain esho ukuthi thina njengaba sikwazi ukuthi sifonde kungathiwa ngizobe ngingena indaba zabantu so kunalento soyithi primary prevention lapha esisasebancane ithi noma mhlambe ke sekwenzekele ukuthi omunye ke sithi okhulile walelokile makhanjwa ke kiwa lapho kuthiwa kumele si respond akurespondweni swiftly ama cases avulwe i-evidence ithathwe ngokusheshsha abantu baboshwe banganikwa amabhayili noma isikanjani bathi lapho begwetshwa igwebo zakhona zizwakale zisinda ngoba futhi siyazi ukuthi abanye bayaboshwa babuye ngeparole baphinde baqhubeke so ziningi izinto okumele senze so i-correctional services is it really correcting the behavior ngoba nje ngathi umuntu uma efika laphayana ejele uyiphatha kahle emakhishini apheke ashanyele kuthi uyiphethe kahle ngoba ama-victim awekho la kumele ukuthi akwahlukumeze so thina kwamele ukuthi sibheke zonke ku-include nama-victim ngoba bayaphuma bengakhulumanga nokuthi ushilo omunye ebekhuluma la owashonela udadewabo ukuthi indlela ayazizwa ngayo so lokhu beshonelwe kuyini kunalento esho ukuthi ama-victim kwamele before umuntu aphuma iparade batshele ukuthi bazoyenza ama-presentation to the parole board kodwa kaningi siyabona ukuthi abantu ababizwa ukuthi bazoyenza njengomndeni ngisho ukuthi mina soloki
No problem, Vincentia, no problem. Le nkinga inkulu kakhulu and ngempela all of us passionately need to keep on discussing this and I do understand the passion in your voice and as you say kuningi okusamele ukuthi sike siqale sibhekelele kukho mbukeli kodwa asibonge kuwe ukuthi uhlanganyele nathi kanye nezihabeli zethu Vincentia Dlamini, Operations Director for Women and Men Against Child Abuse, Captain Kgomotso Maluleke obuya ku Family Violence, Child Protection and Sexual Offences Unit kwi SABC kanye nodokotela Nkululeko Mhlongo clinical psychologist obenathi la studio. Asethembe mbukela ukuthi ingxoxo izoqhubeka einkundleni zokuxhumana ngoba kubi ubongiwa kwaKhumalo wakwaZwane kanye nethimba le Asikhulume sithi ayibonani ngeviki elizayo.